I'm Doug.
And I'm Cathy.
And
there's Maggie Mae.
Join us as we follow the moon. Today, we want to take you through some of the wild parts of Washington, the great wilderness areas, some of the state parks, some of the forestry areas, and
maybe some surprises.
Yeah, definitely. So come along and enjoy the beautiful area of Washington.
Thanks.
Now we're going to start off today on Highway 2 near Skykomish, Washington at Deception Falls. And when you get out of the car at Deception Falls, there is a staircase that leads down to a bridge right there off of that parking area. And this is what you see. And this is the upper falls. This is just the tip of the beauty in this place.
It's stunning.
It really is amazing. And like I said, this is just literally steps down a flight of steps to the from the parking lot. And you're here. And there's a walkway that runs underneath the highway bridge right there. Some of the views are just fantastic. We don't do selfies often, but this one we had to.
Yes.
Now, this is one of the bridges that you go on as you go on down the hike. You can call it a day after that, the upper falls, but we chose to go on down the path. I believe it was a total of about 0.8 of a mile.
Yeah, it wasn't very far.
And really some amazing scenery you saw along the way. And as you go back, there will start to be turnouts that will go down towards the river. The trees are just enormous. It's beautiful country. This is where we start in with the lower falls. And as beautiful as the upper falls were, the lower falls almost just defy description. They do a few things that I have never seen waterfalls do before.
It's just so stunning.
Yeah, the beautiful green water. It's so clear.
Yeah.
The walk is real easy. It's mostly boardwalk, bridges. There are a few stairs. There are a few places that are unpaved, but it's an easy walk.
Yeah.
Here the falls come down right into a rock and veer off to the right. I've never seen them make a 90-degree turn like that.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
They said originally the stream bed went straight, and there are signs where you can see the old stream bed before the landscape changed.
The wilderness is just so beautiful.
And to me, Washington comes across looking about as untouched and unspoiled as any area we've been.
It sure does.
There's a tree that had been taken down and has another tree growing out of the stump that goes to the top of the tallest ones out there.
Nature does not give up.
Absolutely. Look at that water. So like we said, it's an easy hike. This is one that if you're in the area, you absolutely do not want to miss.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely worth it. By the way, we're talking about those trees. This will give you an idea of how one of those trees, how big they are across.
Yeah.
Next up, we're at Lake Wenatchee State Park, and there's a north and a south side to this park. So we started at the north side. We were actually staying at an RV park probably 5 miles from here, and had driven past this several times. So we decided we wanted to stop and see what was up with Lake Wenatchee. And again, real easy hike. It starts off, part of it is almost like drivable, and you can't drive on it, but then it goes into the wood chips like this and goes into some more like trails as you go on along. But going back along the lake on the north side, it is just beautiful. And we saw all kinds of little bits of nature as we went along here. The little chipmunks and the squirrels. There is a log there in front of us with a chipmunk in it. And
There he went.
He actually was making tunnels through there. He'd dart in one place and come out another.
They will chatter at you.
Now, there were a couple of fires in the area when we were here, and that's where the smoke is coming from. They were far enough away from us that we weren't in any danger, but the wind was blowing the right direction that day to carry the smoke.
We weren't smelling it very often. It was more visual.
Yeah. And I think sometimes the smoke hangs along the water being the lowest point.
Yeah.
Now we're over on the south side, and there are actually two entrances, both one on each side of the Wenatchee River. A little island out there. There's a great beach on the south side that's very, very popular. A lot of people were out there enjoying that beach. Now from that lake comes the Wenatchee River. And this is as you drive down Highway 2 towards Leavenworth.
It is Washington at its finest.
It's beautiful. All of these pictures you're seeing here are from right along the roadside. And if we only focused on the river, we would be doing the other side of the road an injustice.
Absolutely.
There is a dam there that you'll go past. The sound of this river is just incredible. Because it's going over the dam, it's going through the rocks.
It's roaring.
You can just hear the power behind it. Now, next stop, Mt Spokane. Mt Spokane State Park is a little different than a lot of the mountain parks that we've been to, in that you can take this road and drive to the very top of Mt Spokane. And that's what we set out to do.
That's right.
They're good roads. They're all paved. They're nice and wide in the beginning. They do narrow down as you go further up the mountain, but they're all very, very passable.
There are a few pull-offs, but not a whole lot.
That's right. When you get to the very top, you'll come to the ski resort.
Yes, this was a treat.
Didn't realize we were going to have all this up there. And the Vista House. This was built in 1934. This is one of the things I didn't know ahead of time, but Mount Shasta is known for, is this beautiful stone house up there. And these are the views from that house.
It truly is breathtaking. It takes your breath away to step over and all realize how steep that's just dropping off.
And all the loose rocks.
And you're right on the very top of that mountain.
Yeah. Now they do have a nice little view porch there. The house itself was not open, but you can go along the porch there. There's also on the far side of the house a staircase that goes up to a second level entrance, and you can go up there and you get even a better view.
And that's your yard.
All different colors. As we started to come down from the top of Mt Spokane, this is what the view was coming down the road. And as you are coming down a mountain, it does switch back a couple of times, but you're kind of going around the mountain.
Yeah.
And so you're seeing out in every direction. Again, the view's not always on the high side. Sometimes it's on the mountain side.
There were some pretty flowers.
Yeah, that slope was every color. Now, we made a real quick stop at Lyons Ferry State Park. This was about 15 miles away from where we were going. It shows you the river out here in the distance. And we're going to go back just a few miles upstream to see where this river came from. At probably Washington State's most famous park. Palouse Falls State Park is really special in Washington. That waterfall that you see there is the state waterfall. It was actually submitted by an elementary school. Their students in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade submitted this back in 2014 to the legislature in Washington, and they voted to make this the state waterfall. It is 200 feet high, and again, you get out of the car and you hear this roaring. What you're seeing here is basically from the parking lot and very near the parking lot. There are trails all over, and we're going to go down a couple of those trails. Here we're actually going back a little further up the canyon and shooting back at it. But you'll also get to see what happens after the falls and the river that it goes into.
And before. Looks like a heart.
It is absolutely incredible. It's one of the most magnificent waterfalls I think I've ever gotten to see.
And the canyon as well that it has fallen into, it just is breathtaking.
The black that you see in the rocks is basalt. It's volcanic. And they said in some places it's 15 million years old and 17 million years old. Cathy was out to get the right shot.
It's a long ways down in there.
Yeah, it is. And I had seen pictures of Palouse Falls before, but I had never realized that it keeps on going. This is just upstream from that big fall. This is the falls before you get to the famous part of the fall. This was a short hike, maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
The last one we're going to show you here is Wallula Gap, and this was actually on our route as we were leaving Washington in the RV. It was rainy that day, so you're going to see some raindrops in the windshield. I apologize for that, but this is what our dash cam caught. This is one of the national natural monuments.
Yes, yes. There were several words in there.
And this was glacial.
Yes.
Glacier came down through, carved this out. The Columbia River, which is a massive river between Oregon and Washington, is running to our right. We're actually still in Washington at this point, even though we're on the south side of the Columbia. Up on the left, you'll see Twin Sisters Rock. This is a drive you must take.
Oh, yes.
And it was accidental for us.
It sure was. And really seeing this here on your screen does not do it justice.
It's massive. It's absolutely incredible to see.
It's otherworldly.
It really is.
And that's the Columbia River there, which feeds into where we just saw the Palouse Falls.
And this is the major river that runs all the way out to the Pacific. It's their major shipping channel.
These hills look furry.
Yeah, the golds, the greens that are on the side of them with the black and the rock. And it's the road and the railroad and the river running through it. It's a great road. Take any RV through it. It's also on the truck route map, so it's a perfectly great road to take. But it's a view you will not want to miss. And what better way for us to be wrapping up Wild Washington, because as I said, that river is the border between Washington and Oregon. And just a few minutes down this road, you'll come across the sign along the side of the road that says, "Welcome to Oregon." Well, Cathy, we've kind of made it completely across the state. What did you think about the wild side of Washington?
I love it. This place is so amazing. It's so diverse, and it's just beautiful everywhere you go.
I started saying this when we were in California, that if you didn't like where you were, in a half hour you'd be someplace totally different.
Yeah.
Washington, I think, has been even more of an extreme in a more compact distance.
It's got everything.
From waterfalls to forests to wildlife, you name it.
The ocean.
Yeah. Part of it is flat, part of it's hilly, part of it's mountainous. I mean, you name it.
And we were talking to someone yesterday who said it was also desert-like in the middle.
Yeah.
So
with that, if you enjoyed the video today, we sure appreciate it if you leave us a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please subscribe, ring that notification bell, and that way you'll know when every one of our videos are and you won't miss out on anything.
And thank you for following us as we follow the moon.
Thanks for watching today.
If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel.
And be sure to ring the notification bell so you'll know when new videos come out.
Don't forget to follow us on social media too.